The truth is simple, but most people ignore it. Every single day, the world moves forward. Technology evolves. Ideas evolve. Skills evolve. Knowledge evolves. But most people stay exactly the same. They wake up, repeat yesterday's habits, scroll through their phones, complain about life, and go to sleep hoping tomorrow will somehow be different. And then they wonder why they feel stuck. Here's the brutal reality. If you are not educating yourself every single day, you are slowly falling behind. Not behind a few people, behind millions. Because somewhere right now, someone your age is reading a book. Someone is learning a new skill. Someone is practicing communication. Someone is studying business. Someone is building discipline. Someone is preparing for a future that most people will never reach. And that one decision, to learn every day, is what separates the top 1% from the rest of the world. The difference between average and extraordinary is not talent. It is not luck. It is not even intelligence. The real difference is daily education. The most successful people on earth understand one powerful rule. Never stop learning. The moment you believe you know enough, you begin losing. Think about it. Schools teach you how to pass exams. But life demands something very different. Life rewards people who constantly upgrade themselves. The world belongs to learners. Look at the most successful entrepreneurs, innovators, creators, and leaders. They read constantly. They ask questions constantly. They explore ideas constantly. Because they understand something powerful. Knowledge compounds. Just like money. If you improve 1% every day, in 1 year you become 37 times better. But most people never experience this growth because they stop learning the moment school ends. And that is the biggest mistake of modern. Because the world rewards people who adapt quickly. Industries change. Technology changes. Opportunities change. But learners stay ahead. They see changes before others do. They prepare before others do. They act before others do. That is how they stay in the top 1%. Let's talk about one powerful habit that all successful learners share. They protect their mind. Most people protect their money more than their mind. But the truth is your mind creates your money. Your mind creates your opportunities. Your mind creates your future. What you feed your brain every day determines who you become. If you feed your mind negativity, gossip, and useless information, your thinking becomes weak. But if you feed your mind ideas, knowledge, wisdom, and inspiration, your thinking becomes powerful. This is why reading remains one of the most powerful habits ever created. A single book can save you 10 years of mistakes. A single idea can change the direction of your life. A single lesson can unlock opportunities you never imagined. Think about that. You can sit quietly in a room and learn directly from the greatest thinkers in human history. Entrepreneurs, scientists, philosophers, leaders, all sharing their knowledge through books. And yet many people say they have no time to read. But they spend hours scrolling, hours watching random content, hours consuming things that do not limit yourself to one type of knowledge. Learn about psychology so you understand people. Learn about communication so you express ideas clearly. Learn about discipline so you control your actions. Learn about money so you control your future. Learn about health so you protect your energy. Learn about creativity so you generate new opportunities. The more perspectives you understand, the more powerful your thinking becomes. Knowledge connects. Ideas combine. And innovation appears. Many of the world's greatest breakthroughs happen because someone connected knowledge from different fields. That is the power of broad learning. Now imagine the long-term impact of daily self-education. 5 years of reading. 5 years of listening to powerful ideas. 5 years of improving your mindset. 5 years of building skills. You would become someone most people cannot compete with. Because while others were distracted, you were preparing. While others were complaining, you were learning. While others were waiting, you were growing. And growth always wins in the long run. The truth is not everyone wants to grow. Some people want comfort more than progress. Some people want entertainment more than improvement. Some people want excuses more than results. But if you are listening to this right now, something inside you is different. You want more. More knowledge. More growth. More purpose. More impact. And that desire is powerful. Because the moment a person commits to learning every day, their life begins to transform. Slowly at first, then dramatically. Because education compounds quietly until one day the results become impossible to ignore. So start today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today, read something that expands your thinking. Listen to ideas that challenge your mindset. Study skills that increase your value. Ask questions that unlock deeper understanding. And keep doing it because the people who educate themselves daily will always stay ahead of the 99% who don't. The moment you decide to educate yourself every day, something powerful begins to change inside you. Your awareness grows. Your perspective expands. And slowly, the world begins to look completely different. You start noticing opportunities that others walk past every day. You start understanding problems that others complain about. You start thinking deeper than the average person. And this is where the real advantage begins. Because success in life is rarely about working harder than everyone else. It is about thinking better than everyone else. Most people react to life. They react to problems. They react to stress. They react to failure. But educated minds respond differently. They analyze. They understand. They solve. Education strengthens your thinking the same way exercise strengthens your muscles. The more you train your mind, the stronger it becomes. And a strong mind can handle pressure, challenges, and uncertainty far better than an untrained mind. Think about the problems most people struggle with today. Financial stress, career confusion, lack of confidence, poor communication, weak discipline. These problems rarely exist because people are incapable. They exist because people never learn the right skills. Education solves problems. When you learn about money, financial stress becomes manageable. When you learn communication, relationships improve. When you learn discipline, productivity increases. When you learn emotional intelligence, conflicts become easier to handle. Education upgrades your entire life. But here is a truth many people overlook. Learning requires humility. The moment someone believes they already know everything, their growth stops instantly. The most intelligent people in the world are often the most curious. They ask questions constantly. They explore new perspectives constantly. They challenge their own beliefs constantly. This mindset keeps them evolving. Curiosity is one of the most powerful forces in personal growth. Children naturally have it. They ask hundreds of questions. They explore everything. They learn rapidly. But as people grow older, many lose that curiosity. They stop asking. They stop exploring. They stop learning. And their personal growth slowly freezes. But the most successful people protect their curiosity. They remain students of life forever. They observe everything. They listen carefully. They search for lessons in every experience. Because life itself is one of the greatest teachers. Every mistake teaches something. Every failure teaches something. Every challenge teaches something. But only if you are willing to learn. Most people experience failure and feel discouraged. But learners experience failure and feel curious. They ask a powerful question. What can this teach me? This single question transforms failure into growth. Instead of feeling defeated, you become wiser. Instead of losing confidence, you gain experience. And over time, this mindset makes you incredibly resilient. Resilience is one of the greatest advantages in life. Because every person faces setbacks. Every entrepreneur experiences failure. Every creator faces criticism. Every leader encounters obstacles. The difference between those who succeed and those who quit is often the ability to learn from difficulties. Education strengthens that ability. Because knowledge creates perspective. Perspective reduces fear. When you understand something, it becomes less intimidating. When you understand failure, you stop fearing it. When you understand money, you stop fearing financial risk. When you understand communication, you stop fearing conversations. This is why educating yourself daily slowly transforms your personality. You become calmer in difficult situations. You become more thoughtful in conversations. You become more strategic when making decisions. People begin to notice something different about you. They notice your clarity. They notice your discipline. They notice your mindset. And opportunities often follow people who demonstrate growth. Because organizations, companies, and leaders value individuals who constantly improve themselves. Think about the type of person everyone wants on their team. Someone reliable. Someone disciplined. Someone curious. Someone constantly learning. Someone always improving. These people are rare. And rarity creates value. The truth is most people underestimate the power of long-term learning. They expect quick results, quick success, quick recognition. But personal growth works very differently. It works slowly at first, almost invisibly. You read something today. You learn something tomorrow. You apply something next week. and the changes seem small. But after months and years, the transformation becomes enormous. Your thinking evolves. Your confidence grows. Your abilities multiply. Your opportunities expand. And suddenly people look at your life and call it success. But they rarely see the thousands of hours of quiet learning that built it. The late nights reading. The long drives listening to audiobooks. The moments of reflection. The consistent discipline. Growth is usually silent, but its results eventually become very loud. Another powerful benefit of educating yourself daily is mental independence. Many people allow others to control their thinking. They follow opinions without questioning them. They accept ideas without examining them. They believe information without verifying it. But educated individuals think critically. They analyze information carefully. They evaluate different perspectives. They build their own conclusions. This ability protects you from manipulation. It protects you from misinformation. And it strengthens your decision-making. Strong decisions shape strong lives. Weak decisions create long-term struggles. And decisions improve dramatically when knowledge increases. Think about the decisions that shape your life. Career choices, financial decisions, relationships, health habits, business opportunities. Each of these areas benefits enormously from education. Learning about money prevents costly financial mistakes. Learning about psychology improves relationships. Learning about productivity improves time management. Learning about health protects your energy and longevity. Education creates intelligent decisions. And intelligent decisions compound over time, just like investments. One smart decision may not seem life-changing, but hundreds of smart decisions over years create extraordinary results. That is the quiet power of knowledge. Now imagine two people starting at the same point in life. One person stops learning after school. The other continues learning every day. 5 years later, their lives begin to separate. 10 years later, the gap becomes massive. 20 years later, their realities are completely different. One lives with limited options. The other creates opportunities everywhere. And the difference often comes down to one simple habit: daily education. Never underestimate the advantage of learning while others are distracted. The world is full of distractions, notifications, entertainment, endless content, constant noise. But focused learning cuts through that noise. When you dedicate time to growth, you build a competitive advantage that compounds silently. And eventually that advantage becomes impossible to compete with. You become someone who understands more, creates more, and contributes more. And contribution is one of the most fulfilling experiences in life. Because the purpose of education is not just personal success. It is impact. The more you learn, the more you can help others. The more you understand, the more solutions you can offer. The more skills you develop, the more value you bring to the world. Education transforms you from a consumer of knowledge into a creator of value. And the world rewards value generously. So continue learning. Continue questioning. Continue exploring. Because every day you educate yourself, you are quietly building a future that most people will never reach. And one day, the discipline you practice today will become the advantage that changes your entire life. There is another powerful truth about education that most people never fully understand. Knowledge does not just change what you know. It changes what you see. Two people can walk through the same world and experience completely different realities. One person sees problems everywhere. The other sees opportunities everywhere. The difference is perspective. And perspective is built through learning. When your mind becomes educated, your awareness expands. You begin noticing patterns that others ignore. You begin understanding systems that others find confusing. You begin predicting outcomes that others never see coming. This is how leaders think. This is how innovators think. This is how successful entrepreneurs think. They train their minds to understand the deeper layers of the world. But here is something important to remember. Education alone is not enough. Information without action creates frustration. Many people read books, watch videos, attend seminars, and yet their life never changes. Why? Because knowledge must become behavior. Learning must become action. Ideas must become habit. Improve. Repeat. This cycle turns information into mastery. Let's imagine you learn about discipline today. You understand that successful people wake up early, focus on priorities, and avoid distractions. That idea sounds powerful, but the real power begins when you apply it tomorrow morning. You wake up earlier. You remove distractions. You complete important work first. At first, it feels uncomfortable, because growth always feels uncomfortable in the beginning. But as days pass, the behavior becomes easier. Weeks pass, and it becomes a habit. Months pass, and that habit becomes part of your identity. You are no longer someone trying to be disciplined. You are a disciplined person. This is how education reshapes identity. You learn an idea. You practice the idea. You become the idea. Now imagine repeating this process across different areas of life. You learn communication. You practice speaking clearly. You improve your listening. Eventually, you become someone who communicates powerfully. You learn about productivity. You practice focus. You remove distractions. Eventually, you become someone who gets more done in less time. You learn about emotional intelligence. You practice patience. You understand people's perspectives. Eventually, you become someone who handles conflicts calmly. Education is not about becoming smarter. It is about becoming better. Better thinking, better habits, better decisions, better results. And over time, these improvements multiply. Another advantage of daily learning is adaptability. The modern world changes faster than any time in human history. New technologies appear every year. Industries evolve rapidly. Skills become outdated. Careers transform. People who stop learning often struggle to keep up. But people who continuously educate themselves adapt quickly. They learn new tools. They understand new trends. They develop new skills. And because of this, they remain valuable in changing environments. Adaptability is survival in the modern world. Imagine someone who stopped learning about technology 10 years ago. Today they would feel completely lost. But someone who stayed curious, experimented, and kept learning would feel comfortable navigating new systems. Education gives you flexibility. It keeps you relevant. It keeps you competitive. It keeps you prepared. And preparation creates confidence about the future. Many people fear the future because they feel unprepared for it. But learners approach the future differently. They feel curious about it. They feel ready for it. Because they trust their ability to learn whatever is necessary. That mindset creates powerful courage. Another powerful advantage of educating yourself daily is mental clarity. Modern life is extremely noisy. Opinions everywhere. Information everywhere. Distractions everywhere. Without strong thinking skills, people become overwhelmed. They struggle to decide what matters. They struggle to focus on priorities. They struggle to filter useful information from useless information. But education strengthens your mental filters. You begin asking better questions. Is this information valuable? Is this idea logical? Is this opportunity meaningful? Is this distraction worth my time? These questions protect your focus. And focus is one of the most valuable resources in life. Many people think time is the most valuable resource. But focus determines how time is used. Two people can have the same 24 hours. But one person produces extraordinary results. The other produces very little. The difference is focus. Education improves focus because it strengthens purpose. When you understand your goals clearly, distractions lose their power. When you understand your priorities clearly, decisions become easier. Clarity creates momentum, and momentum creates progress. Now let's talk about another powerful aspect of learning. Learning changes how you speak. When your mind expands, your words become more thoughtful. Your conversations become more meaningful. Your ability to express ideas becomes stronger. Communication is one of the most powerful skills in life. It influences careers, relationships, leadership, opportunities. People who communicate clearly often rise faster in life. Because ideas only create impact when they are expressed effectively. Education strengthens vocabulary, thinking structure, and storytelling ability. And storytelling is powerful. Stories move emotions. Stories inspire action. Stories help people remember ideas. Many great leaders are powerful storytellers because they understand how to turn knowledge into inspiration. When you learn deeply, your mind naturally gathers stories, examples, experiences, lessons, and these elements allow you to communicate ideas in ways that resonate with people. This is one reason why educating yourself daily can transform your influence. You become someone who shares insights, someone who offers wisdom, someone who inspires growth in others. And influence creates opportunity. Now here is a challenge for you. Look honestly at how you spend your time each day. How many hours go to entertainment? How many minutes go to education? Most people have this balance reversed. They spend hours consuming entertainment and very little time improving themselves. Imagine reversing that ratio. Imagine dedicating even 1 hour every day to learning something valuable. 1 hour reading. 1 hour listening to powerful ideas. 1 hour studying skills. In 1 year, that becomes success is rarely mysterious. It is often the predictable result of consistent habits practiced over long periods of time. Daily education is one of those habits. And the best part is this. Anyone can start today. You do not need special talent. You do not need special connections. You do not need permission. All you need is curiosity and discipline. Open a book. Listen to an audiobook. Study an idea. Ask a question. Challenge your thinking. And repeat this process tomorrow. Then the next day. Then the next week. Then the next year. Because every day you educate yourself, you are quietly building a powerful advantage over the majority of people who choose comfort instead of growth. And eventually, that advantage becomes the reason you stand ahead of the 99%. There comes a moment in every person's life when they realize something powerful. No one is coming to change your life for you. No teacher will appear at your door every morning. No mentor will force you to open a book. No opportunity will beg you to prepare for it. The responsibility belongs to you. And this realization is not a burden. It is freedom. Because the moment you accept responsibility for your own education, you gain control over your future. You no longer depend on circumstances. You no longer wait for luck. You no longer blame the system. Instead, you begin building your advantage quietly, day by day. You read while others scroll. You study while others complain. You grow while others stay comfortable. And slowly, your life begins to move in a different direction. Think about the people you admire most in the world. Leaders, innovators, entrepreneurs, writers, creators. Almost all of them share one habit. They never stopped learning. Some of the most successful people in history read hundreds of books every year. Not because someone forced them, but because they understood the power of knowledge. Knowledge sharpens vision. Knowledge expands imagination. Knowledge prepares you for opportunities that others cannot even recognize. Imagine walking into a room full of possibilities. Most people only see what is obvious, but a trained mind sees patterns, connections, ideas, solutions. This is the quiet advantage of education. It turns ordinary situations into extraordinary opportunities. But remember something important. The goal of learning is not to impress people. The goal of learning is to transform yourself. Some people chase knowledge only to appear intelligent. But real learners chase knowledge to become capable. Capable of solving problems. Capable of building ideas. Capable of helping others. Capable of creating value. And value is what the world rewards most. If you solve problems, people notice you. If you create solutions, people respect you. If you bring value, opportunities begin to find you. This is why self-education is one of the greatest investments you will ever make. Unlike money, knowledge cannot be taken away from you. Unlike trends, knowledge does not expire when properly applied. Every lesson becomes part of who you are. Every insight strengthens your thinking. Every skill expands your potential. And these invisible assets quietly shape your destiny. Now imagine your life 5 years from today. Imagine the version of you that reads every day, learns every day, improves every day, practices discipline every day. Imagine how clearly that person thinks, how confidently that person speaks, how intelligently that person makes decisions, how powerfully that person leads their own life. Now imagine the opposite path. 5 years of distraction, 5 years of comfort, 5 years of postponing growth. The difference between these two futures is created by daily. The world often celebrates sudden success. But behind every sudden success are years of invisible preparation, years of learning, years of experimenting, years of improving, years of persistence. Success rarely appears overnight, but preparation can begin today, right now, at this very moment. You can decide that your mind deserves better input. You can decide that your time deserves better use. You can decide that your future deserves better preparation. Start with one powerful habit. Feed your mind something valuable every single day. A chapter of a book, a powerful idea, a meaningful conversation, a lesson that expands your thinking. Over time, these small deposits of knowledge become intellectual wealth. And intellectual wealth eventually transforms into real-world success. Because when preparation meets opportunity, powerful things happen. Doors open. Ideas become reality. Confidence replaces doubt. And the life you once imagined slowly becomes the life you are living. But always remember this. Education is not a destination. It is a lifelong journey. The most extraordinary people never stop being students. They stay curious. They stay humble. They stay open to new ideas. And that mindset keeps them growing long after others stop. So keep learning. Keep exploring. Keep challenging your mind. Because every day you educate yourself, you move one step further away from average and one step closer to excellence. And if this message inspired you to grow stronger, think deeper, and become the best version of yourself, make learning a daily habit. Subscribe to the Motivational Audiobook Spot, where powerful ideas, life-changing lessons, and inspiring audiobooks help you upgrade your mindset and stay ahead of the 99%. Your journey of growth is just beginning, and the best version of your life is waiting.